Good morning. Here's today's update. Had the ECB yesterday and Draghi. He did his normal. Will do anything to keep the whole show rolling along. So it was pretty dovish. Still doing QE. And as I said shortly after his speech, that was negative for the euro, especially once we broke below 117.30, which was the key support. And what's happened is we had a slam dunk signal, so closed way below. That means we actually closed below the 6 standard deviation down on a range deviation pivot, and we've pretty much hit our major monthly target. So this is the original breakout point, monthly level. We've come down to it. This is the critical level. So 116.17. Start holding daily close below it. You can see that it opens up a huge amount of space, and really what we've got here is a shift in interest rate differentials. So have the German Bund futures rallying and the treasuries in the States falling. So interest rates, when they start going in opposite directions, much more likely to have some effect on the currencies. So show you T-bonds. T-bonds were down on the day, trying to move higher for a lot of it because Europe was rallying. We're right at this final level, 150.16. So a weekly close below there opens up 147. So we're still under the negative vibe from this signal on the 18th of October. And if I was to do Germany or France or Italy, so this is the German interest rate. Really, considering what the news was, it wasn't a particularly great performance, but it was still up on the day, as you can see, but still has the negatives that appeared at the same time as the States. I'll just do France. Yep, so France, strongest of the lot really, probably because they're in such a mess. Actually a daily buy signal there, a lot of daily supports below as well, no resistance. And we just do our friends in Italy. So do the BTP. There we go. We stopped at a monthly level. We did have that thing, I mentioned that a couple of days ago. Not much of a move down on it, and there you go. This is what Draghi does for Italian bonds. Actually broken up above the final resistance. So you can see such a big shift there between interest rate differentials. Just going to go to the euro futures, so back to currencies. We've got that monthly level sitting on the spot, but on futures it's different. We actually hit a major upside target at 120.80 back in August, never managed a real close above it, and here again we have space. So we're watching that level on spot. But there's our move there on the futures. If I do the dollar index, there we go. So we said we had a negative the day before, but it wasn't at resistance, so not interested in it. Blown that away completely, and again have a lot of space. So that 116.17 on spot euro, important today or even early next week. But a major change in the dollar. 98.05, so a long way away. What is bullish for the dollar is bearish for gold. Not surprisingly, gold was down in dollar terms. Still got this really big level though, 1262, which is a bit of a bear trap, but daily close below there would then open up 1210.3. So gold didn't do too bad considering how strong the dollar was. Now as the euro has moved against the dollar, it's worth looking at all the cross rates just to see if different ways of selling the euro against different pairs. So this is going to start off with Euro Aussie. So we had a bear cage there and a stepping process ended. The issue you've got there is, of course, there's already a short position on the Aussie dollar, and that has broken down as well. So still weak, under pressure from the sell on the 19th. So traders are still short that position, looking for that target at 75.25. So the euro's weak and the Aussie's weak, so not probably the most compelling one. Let's do euro kiwi. This one's a bit more interesting because we didn't quite get to a major monthly target at 173. We've had a time continuation signal, and there's a little bit of space to fall. So then what we do is we have a look at the kiwi itself, and we already touched on it. I already touched on it yesterday. It reached a major downside target. Now it did actually close below it. Normally I would have expected that to hold that. So the key to the euro kiwi is the two spot rates. If the kiwi can recover above 68.62 on a closing basis, and if the euro is going below 116.17, then a sell on the euro kiwi would definitely make sense. Let's do the euro yen. This had been a position that got out a couple of days ago because it was another false break, and that's given us a triple signal. So UFO time continuation and slam dunk. So not at resistance though. I'll just do the futures. It's not heavily traded, but we'll see if there's any levels there. And the futures has topped out at the final resistance, so you can see on the daily, and then we've had a time continuation yesterday. So it's easy to know where we're wrong. So again, we look at the spot, and dollar yen is got no resistance, is breaking up. So the yen is quite weak as well. What would be really interesting is if we got any sort of reversal on stocks, because if the US stock market reversed, that normally implies yen strength. There's a broad correlation, and we know that we did have some negatives on the Dow on Wednesday, first since July. So euro yen could be interesting. We could get a weak euro and a strong yen, and we'll need to watch the stock market to understand that one. Euro pound. This one's very choppy. Personally, I don't like it because we just get stupid stories about Brexit, which is now even more tedious than the credit crunch. And so I'm not a big fan of it. I don't too close to the pound and too wound up by the stupidity of politicians to want to trade it. Really don't like the idea of losing money because of politicians opening their mouths. Euro CAD. So the EuroCAD never reached a major upside target. Again, we've had a major reversal, but not at resistance. So we'd have to look at dollar CAD again. We already know that it broke up, didn't it? I think on Wednesday. And that's taken out a daily level. So again, Canada's weak. I suppose the euro. So I think the one that's probably the most compelling is euro kiwi. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that one. Okay, quite long today because there's a lot of different relationships there, but that's it. Thank you.